Hey everyone, my name is Hannah and I'm a donor certifying doula. So I am in the process right now of becoming a certified donor doula, and I've been sharing some videos just on my experiences and things that I've been doing to prepare for my certification. So today I wanted to go through what's in my doula bag. Right now I am on call as a backup doula for one of my friends. We've done a few births together. But I'm on call and it sounds like she's going to be going into labor very, very soon. Last night she was at 2.5 centimeters dilated, but her contractions just haven't been consistent enough. So I figured that while I get my doula bag together, I can also show you guys what I have. And what is in my doula bag is very kind of personal to me and personalized. So everyone's bag will look different. Everyone's going to use different strategies. But these are just some of the things that I found really helpful for the births that I've attended. So the first thing that I keep in my doula bag is my rebozo. And it's a super long, pretty wide rebozo. So I can use it for a bunch of different positions. So this has been really, really helpful. The next thing that I have in my doula bag are 2 LED candles, and these kind of flicker and they give a really gorgeous ambiance, and I've used these at every birth I've attended. If I could be pantsless right now, I would be. Another thing I've used at every birth I've attended are these Gaiam Restore Hand Therapy Kit balls, and they have 3 different resistances. And they are super great to squeeze. So they come in like something that's a little easier and then something that's a little bit tougher. So as her contractions are starting to pick up, or if she just needs some like variance in what she's grabbing onto or doing, these have been so, so helpful. I actually left these at the first birth I ever attended, and I immediately went out the next day and bought a whole new pack because these have just been so helpful. The other really great thing about these that I've done at a couple of my births is I will keep these covered in ice. So I'll just fill up like a styrofoam cup with ice, put this in, pour ice over it, and it'll get really nice and cool, and that has been really beneficial for a lot of the births. So having multiple of these is super helpful because she can be grabbing onto one while one is cooling off, and we can switch out every few minutes, and that also kind of varies things that she's focusing on during her contractions. The next thing that I have, I didn't have these at the first couple births that I've attended, but my co-doula had these. They're just simple fans, and these have been helpful in every single, oh, that feels good. It's so hot in here, I don't know why. It's cool everywhere else in the house except for this room. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I got this one from Amazon for, I want to say $1 or like $1.50, and it seemed really ridiculous ordering this off of Amazon to get shipped to me being so cheap, but I had a pretty difficult time finding them in stores. So yeah, super cheap, super easy. And then I had originally found this one at the dollar store, but as you can see, it's a little glittery, and I don't love the idea of fanning it and possibly getting this gaudy glitter all over the place, but I keep it just in case we need another one. But this is the one that I typically use. It's a lot simpler. The next thing I have is a comb, and I didn't know about this until I attended my doula workshop in January. This was one of the little gifts that our instructor gave all of us to put into our doula bag. And this has also been super helpful for all of the births I've attended. It seems to be a running theme where women in labor tend to get a lot of pressure right here. And I need to do a little bit more research on it, but I think it might be like kind of an acupressure point that can be helpful for women in labor. But it's just been really helpful for them to just squeeze the comb, and the teeth of the comb kind of give them a really awesome little massage for the center of their hand when it's bothering them. Surprisingly super helpful. So sort of on the same theme, of the fans. I have this little ice pack that is pretty small, but it's a good size for the forehead or the back of the neck. Most hospitals that I've attended have easily accessible ice. If it's not easily accessible, you can usually ask one of the nurses to grab you like a Ziploc bag or a cup full. And I got this at TJ Maxx for about $3, I believe. This little guy I got from Target. And it's just like a really comfy kind of spa sleep mask, and it blocks out all the light, and then it also has like some cooling beads and really comfortable like microfiber. So I used this for one instance during a birth where she needed a catheter inserted to help her urinate. To put in the catheter, the midwives and the nurses needed super bright lights that kind of shone right down on the patient. So I put this right on my client's eyes, and she was able to kind of go inwards while the procedure was being done, and it didn't like take her away or remove her from like her mental space. This, awesome. I think I got this at Target for about $10. My cat wants to get in this video real bad. Oftentimes during labor, a woman will be required to, or will elect to, or will agree to have an IV line put in. And a common side effect of having the IV put in is that you can actually kind of taste the saline in your mouth, and that can be pretty unpleasant, especially for a woman during labor. Usually around the like 3 or 4 centimeters, and then 7 or 8 centimeters they tend to get sick to their stomach, which is just a sign of really good labor progression. So a little trick to kind of combat that uncomfortable and gross kind of taste is honey. Women during labor, a lot of times if they're in a hospital setting, are not allowed to eat or drink anything besides water. Always check with the provider or with the nurse, but typically sucking on or consuming a small amount of honey doesn't disrupt anything if an emergency C-section were needed. So I bring these with me just in case she has that unpleasant taste in her mouth. But these are just little lollipops of honey that she can kind of suck on to remove or distract from that kind of gross, salty, saline taste in her mouth. These kind of terrify me for reasons that I will get into. I figured that these would feel pretty good, especially on the hands if she wants to just squeeze them. They have like the little flexible spikes, and then it would also be great to kind of like roll on the small of her back. The reason these freak me the fuck out is because if you hit them just right, that's like the most awful migraine-inducing light. It's awful. And I brought these up during one of my prenatals with one of my clients who used it on and off. It was this and these the whole time during labor. These were super helpful for her. And I told her, I was like, I feel like these would feel really great, but the lights are awful. And she said, just bring them because I really like how they feel already. And she loved them, and the light did not go off the entire labor, which was awesome. But just beware. I'm definitely on the lookout for something like this that doesn't have that awful cop light. So anyway, like I was saying, one of the recommendations we received during our workshop was to always keep our birth partner book by Penny Simkin on hand. Thank you for helping me display this so well. But yeah, this is kind of our holy grail. It's kind of like our Bible. It has awesome illustrations and good kind of tips and positioning suggestions and all of that. So I always keep this on hand. The next thing I got at the dollar store is just a little pack of hair ties in case the mother didn't pack it or if she needs more. Obviously, like if you're working out, usually put your hair up, if you're getting sweaty, all of that. So same thing goes for labor. You're pretty much running a marathon. The next thing, all of my essential oils. I keep a pretty large amount with me, but I will go through 3 that I think are essential for all doulas. And with my essential oils are my cotton balls. So I never diffuse, I always place them on cotton balls. The essential oils that I think every doula or birth partner needs to bring in their bag are lavender, peppermint, and lemon. And if you are new to essential oils, I would definitely recommend this Now brand. You can get it at a bunch of different stores. I believe they have it at Sprouts. They also have it at Natural Grocers. I believe they also have it at Whole Foods. So they're pretty readily accessible, and they're also very high quality but not super duper expensive. Lavender is wonderful, like you can kind of guess, for calming, for meditation, for just keeping like a really peaceful environment. So if the mother is either in a really great kind of headspace and you want to just keep promoting that, you can put a drop or maybe 2 drops on a cotton ball, and just while she's kind of doing her breaths during her contraction, just kind of waft them around her nose, and it's just a really great introduction. It's really peaceful, it's really calming. And also always make sure that your client enjoys these scents and is also interested in essential oils. I have a client right now who is interested in essential oils, but she despises lavender, which is super good for me to know because I go to lavender for everything. So I'm not going to bring that, obviously, in that birth. So good to always bring it up in your prenatal appointments and kind of introduce them to them beforehand. Peppermint is a really wonderful essential oil for a couple of different purposes. The first is it's really great to kind of help out with an upset stomach or nausea. The other purpose it has is that it has an ability to kind of arouse and awaken. So if she's just getting totally exhausted and she needs that extra push, obviously, any sort of encouragement, any sort of reminders, especially having loved ones close, is super helpful for that. But introducing this is just like a little added something. And the last one that I think is essential is lemon. And this has a very similar purpose to peppermint. It is really great for energizing, awakening, all of that. Introducing this for a couple of breaths on a cotton ball is really great and can give them that kind of boost of energy and motivation. I keep this iHome speaker system in my bag as well. It can be connected through aux cord, so I keep this aux cord with it. It's just an extra one that I have, or it can be connected through Bluetooth. But some women will bring their own playlists. If not, I have a list of kind of calming soundscapes like ocean or bird sounds or rainforest sounds on my phone that I just play kind of in the background. There are a lot of stereotypes about doulas out there. One of them being that all doulas are like spiritual weirdo hippies, and in my case it's totally true, and I'm embracing that. So with that, I always bring a little collection of my favorite gemstones. They serve a plethora of purposes. The most common is just to kind of have something pretty to look at, have a focal point during contractions, and have something pretty to look at on the side of your hospital bed. So I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly, and if anybody is interested in learning a little bit more about the gems and the stones and crystals that I bring with me to births, I can make another video about that. So just let me know if anybody has an interest in that. So the first one that I bring is my gorgeous little bit of amethyst. The next couple that I bring are different varieties of quartz. I have clear quartz, and then I have a quartz that has a little bit of golden quartz mixed into it. The next one is my labradorite. I also bring a little stick of selenite. This one is rose quartz, and this one is howlite. I keep a little thing of jasper with me. Lastly is my fluorite. It's really pretty. They're just really pretty, and it just kind of makes the space a little bit more homey, a little bit more like bohemian and relaxed. And if anything, we're kind of preparing their environment for them. So why not make it as gorgeous and as calming as possible? But some of you might be thinking, it seems like you're missing a few things. And that is because I am, but I keep some of the other things in a separate bag. This bag that I keep all of these goodies in is kind of like my free-for-all grab bag. Everything's used for the mom, and anybody in the room can use them. So because I keep this bag just for the mom, I bring another smaller bag with me, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video on that. But that is kind of all of my confidential paperwork, my notebook, my welcome packet, any paperwork I have on the mother, any notes I have from prenatal appointments, and then I also keep personal items for myself like food and toiletries. But these kind of go hand in hand. I just like to keep them physically separated. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on what's in my doula bag. I have really enjoyed getting in touch with some doulas from around the country, and I've really enjoyed making these videos, so I want to do it a little bit more frequently. I have a website where I post blogs to pretty regularly, so if anybody's also kind of interested in keeping up with me on a little bit more of a regular basis, definitely go check that out. My website is sacredsagebirth.com. and you can just scroll to the blog section, and then I also have a way to kind of sign up to get notifications when I post new blog posts. But be on the lookout for some more videos a little bit more regularly about my journey. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon in the next video.